This is Secrets to Win Big, your roadmap to sustained growth. Brought to you by Arjun Sen, founder and CEO of Zen Mango, top brand growth driver, and a former Fortune 500 executive who has been called one of the most marketing intelligent minds in the business. Find him at zenmango.com. And now, here's your host, Arjun Sen.
Welcome to Secrets to Win Big with Arjun Sen. This is Arjun, and today it's truly my pleasure to talk to Orianne Collins. Orianne Collins is a globally acclaimed jewelry designer, a lifetime philanthropist, and the former wife of music legend Phil Collins. Jewelry designed by Orianne are influenced by her heritage and her travels around the world, studying various cultures and craftsmanship techniques, inspiring, imbuing jewelry design with symbolism, color, and eclectic elements. But that is just the beginning of getting an understanding of who Orianne Collins is. Orianne Collins has made it her purpose in life to encourage people to never give up, no matter whatever happens in their life. She wants to show people if they push themselves every day, they can achieve whatever it is they want to do and they desire. Orianne has received UNICEF Humanitarian Award Clarins in 2005, one of the highest humanitarian awards given for Orianne Collins' contribution to social causes and impacting the life of children worldwide. Orianne received Club Day 100 Global Gift Foundation Philanthropist of the Year 2017, Philanthropist Couple of the Year 2020, and the Apogee Award in 2020. Orianne, welcome to Secrets to Win Big.
Thank you.
Orianne, I just want to start at one of the toughest days of your life when tragedy struck in 2014. You woke up paralyzed from head down due to complications from a surgery. But day by day, step by step, you have fought to regain the ability to walk. And what amazed me when I read about it is you didn't stop at walking. In 2007, you triumphed to climb Mount Breton mountain of Switzerland, which speaks a height of 13,661 feet. Wow. Can you take me through the mindset of how you fought against all these odds to achieve this?
Well, I went for surgery in December 2014, and it was supposed to be a very simple operation that put a cage in my neck to release my nerves. And my surgeon say that, I could fly in Switzerland on the Monday and then go back home on the Friday. So before I left home, I prepared everything, all the Christmas gift and everything, and I was set to come back home. But the tragedy arrived that when I was in the awakening room, I could not feel anything. I woke up, I was paralyzed head down. And then the surgeon said to me that I will never be able to walk again. So I was in this body, totally paralyzed, and I didn't know what to do. And in Switzerland, you have the right to go. So I was thinking in myself, like, I have 3 boys. It's not fair for them to have a mom that is gonna be like staying in the bed and don't move and don't do anything, So I was having very bad thoughts, and I was thinking maybe that I should go in the best way that I could. And then, I was there in my bed having all these kind of thoughts, didn't know what to do exactly. And, and then suddenly I felt my little toe moving. And I thought to myself, wow, if this one move, I'm going to make everything else move. So I went into a battle against myself to regain everything that I lost, to be able to write again, to draw again, to cook again, to drive again, to swim again, to everything. It was like a computer that broke down. I have everything in my head, but nothing goes down, no signal. Like if I wanted to touch my nose, it was impossible. If I wanted to itch my hair or touch my hair, it was impossible. So I went for 4 months in a rehabilitation center in Switzerland, where I daily work out 8 hours a day, trying to walk. My objective was to walk, walk, walk. And I remember one day the doctor said to me, "So what is your objective? What do you want to do?" And I say, "Walk." And she said to me, "No, no, 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 something more accessible for you, like from moving from the bed to the chair, from the chair to the shower, these kind of things." And I'm looking at her, I said, "No, no, 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 I want to walk. I want to walk." Anyway, I went to a battle and I won that battle after years of rehabilitation and hard work. I was able to come out of the chair, walk with 2 sticks, 1 stick, and now without stick. So to kind of put everything behind me, I needed to do something that was beyond me, was something, a challenge. I wanted to say to myself, okay, I'm gonna climb the highest peak in Switzerland, put all my bags down there, put 2 flags up there, one for the Little Dream Foundation, one for the Never Give Up Foundation, to tell people that, for the young kids, to say, if you believe in yourself, you can make it. Dream loud and you can make it. And then for Never Give Up, for people like me who think that one day everything was gone, that there is hope and they should never give up. And that was the symbol of what I was doing. And I trained so hard every day. I was doing 150 stairs, and I was climbing up and down a parking lot in Miami, in Lincoln Road. I was going up and down 10, 20 times. Everybody was looking at me like, what is she doing? What she's doing? And I was like training to climb, and then I was going into the mountain, climbing rocks, get used to it. And the day of the climb, it was amazing because it was a middle of the summer and it was all grass and beautiful weather. And I thought to myself, wow, it's going to be a nice climb. But we started the climb at 3 o'clock in the morning and we took 2 lifts to go up to the latest part of the mountain, the bottom of the mountain. So when we came out, it was snow and ice, and there was a blizzard. It was minus 14 degrees. It was so cold. My face was like covered in frozen, it was all frozen. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't sign for that. I thought that it was gonna be, grass and it was gonna be easy climb, So I had to put the pick, on my feet, and I had a stick with me. And I always remember that my mountain guide said to me, Orianne, do never look up. Just follow my step one by one. So I was like, why did he say that to me? Why did he say not to look up, And anyway, I was following his step one by one. And then when we arrived to 4,000 meters, you have no oxygen. So my body was like not used to not have oxygen, I was like, it was like it was burning, all the inhale you took was burning, and your feet gets very heavy, and more step you were taking, it was like so far away from the top of the mountain. But I was thinking to myself, just follow a step, follow a step, follow a step, follow a step. Anyway, we finally arrived to the top of the mountain and I was like, oh my God, this is the best moment ever. And at that moment, suddenly the sun came up and I see all the mountain around. It was magical. It was like surreal, like fantastic moment, and I put all my sorrow down there, you know, all my my bad thoughts, all the bad experience that I had, everything that was heavy for me, I put it there on top of that mountain. And I felt, you know, in peace. You know, for once I was in peace. And I thought to myself, you know, now you can walk, now you put it behind, and now you have to move on, you know? So that was my story about my recovery. But I have to say that since then, I had a syndrome called the brown seed cord syndrome, which is one side of me is partially paralyzed, and the other side, I don't feel the heat, the cold, and the pain. So on a daily basis, it's very dangerous because you could burn yourself going into the shower. You could burn yourself while you're cooking. You could cut yourself, you don't feel it. You know, when I cook, you know, I put my hand on the stove, I don't feel it. So I could easily, you know, hurt myself. So I have to be very aware of everything I do, you know, all the time. You know, I cannot just say, oh, you know, I'm going to have a shower. No, I have to be aware that it's at the right temperature so I don't burn myself. So, you know, and the paralysis that I have, you know, on the left side, it's hard because I encounter some numbness, some part that doesn't work anymore. And it's hard because I have to keep up with my leg to try to keep up walking, you know, but if I don't do my exercise every day, I lose the capability of walking and I lose everything that I gain. So it's a matter of lifetime that I have to train. I have to maintain my mojo of saying never give up, you know, and always focus on getting better and staying at the same level, you know. Otherwise, I go backwards and I can end up by being in a wheelchair again, you know. So I have to keep continuing doing it all the time. So it becomes like a habit, you know. Every day in the morning, I wake up 7 o'clock. I start to train until 3 in the afternoon, and then at 3 I change. I go to the office and I work, and I finish, you know, around 7:30. Go back home, make dinner for my family, and you know, and then work again after I make the dinner and I spend time with my family. You know, I continue working very late until midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm working. So that's my life, you know, it becomes what it is, but I make it the best I could. And, you know, I will never be what I used to be. I maybe one time will be able to be 75% of what I used to be physically and but today mentally I'm 2000 times more better than I used to be, you know.
Wow.
So I gain in one way and I lost in the other way, you know.
Wow. And, you know, first of all, I want to thank you for sharing in details, because when I read about your accident and the challenge in maybe 50 words, it does not do justice to how hard you had to work and you continue to work. I just want to push you and ask you a follow-up question. There is, in your situation where you were, you just being able to walk itself would have been phenomenal. You setting up a goal to cross that to climb the mountain, that too on a day of blizzards, that itself is beyond human imaginations. But you didn't stop there. You have immediately taken your triumph to transfer energy to take never give up foundation to the next level. You even planted the flag there. While most of us think about our recovery, and as you explained to me, it's such a difficult journey, how do you at every point go beyond to help others never give up and instill that in people?
I'm saying that, when something happened to you like that, it's a big shock.
Mhm.
It's an emotional shock. So you should not subestimate it. You have to take advice from professional, like you need to have a psychiatrist following you, because it's such a shock,
Mhm.
emotionally, physically, that you need someone to help you to go about your sorrow, to be able to talk to someone about how you feel. Because, most of the time when it happens to you, you kind of close yourself and you don't want to talk to anybody. And you're just in your mind and you're just thinking, I want to save myself. I want to leave. I want to be able to leave. I want to be able to wake up tomorrow morning and feel like I'm alive. I'm alive. I can walk. I'm alive, and this is like such an important thing in life, is the gratitude to wake up in the morning and be alive, because you could do everything in the world when you put your mind to it.
Mhm.
And the mind is so powerful that it changed everything. If you look at my MRI today, nobody understands why I'm walking. I
Wow.
should be paralyzed, head down in a bed. They do not understand how I'm walking. It's for them, it's a mystery or a miracle, whatever you want to call it. But I have to say that, when I was in a hospital, every day I was posting. I was posting like a wisdom or a word of, you know, helping people, helping to realize that they are lucky. They're lucky to be alive. They're lucky because they have food. They're lucky because they have something to drink. They're lucky because they can breathe, they're lucky because they can walk, and we tend to forget about this, we tend to forget that it's taken for granted. But in fact, you know, everything that you have around you, the most simple thing, it's it's such a value. It's such something that is so important. And you know, when I see some people that, they totally down because they have a cold, I'm like, what? A cold? And you can't come to work and you're in bed for 5 days? I don't understand that. For me, it's beyond, because when you go through what I went through, a cold is nothing. It's not even, I mean, I hardly had any cold in my life, and if I had it, I went to work and I forgot about it. So it's like what I say, the mindset is so important. And then if you put yourself in a position where you're thinking, okay, I'm here today, I want to be there tomorrow. How do I get there? And it's your mindset, is the way you're going to put it. It's like, okay, I'm able to do this today, but tomorrow I'm going to do that, which is even better, even stronger. Or, you put yourself a challenge every day, and you achieve it. And the fact that you could achieve as many challenges as you want to give yourself is fantastic. And I think that, people has to say thank you, whenever they wake up in the morning, have this gratitude of being alive, and and put yourself some objectives, simple or hard objective, but realize them every day. Every day you say to yourself, I'm going to do this and achieve it and take it to the next level, and you will see that, I was reading something that is very interesting, that we only use about 20% capacity of our brain. Imagine if we were able to use 100%,
Yes.
what we will be able to do. It will be incredible. And if you think about it, we don't have wings, so we can't fly, but we could do so many things, and we could push ourselves to maybe reach 30%. Imagine if we reach 30% of the capacity of the brain, what we will be able to do. It's unbelievable. And I think that, the brain is so powerful that it gives you tools to do anything you want, because, for example, one day you decide to learn another language, you could do that. It's easy. If you put your mind to it, you're going to learn another language. If you decide to climb a mountain like I did, you could do it. You put your mind to it, you train for it, you get ready for it, and then you have the ascension, you go there and you achieve it, and you're so happy because you reached the top. But I have to tell you a story, is that when I was at the top of the mountain, I forgot that I have to go back down. I thought that, it was there. I was on the top of the mountain. It was fantastic. But I forgot that I had to go back, and I had to walk again 6 hours to get back to, to the top of the mountain and to be able to go down, You forgot that you have to walk back. And this walk back is very hard, I have to say. It's harder to go down than to go up. And it takes time, it takes a lot of effort, and you are drained, because you're emotionally drained because you had so much plus, but now you have to go back down, and it takes a long time to go back down. And I didn't like to go back down. I prefer to be on top of the mountain, to be honest. But anyway, you could do everything every day and challenge yourself, be positive. I think this is very important, is to be positive, to be humble, to be respectful to each other. And I think, God is there to give you a path in your life, and you follow it or you don't. Some people don't want to follow it, but usually everything is written for you. It's the future is already written for you. So you have to take the best path for you to achieve what you want to achieve. It could be family-wise, it could be business-wise. You have to have different hopes in life, and hope is great because it makes you want to dream, it makes you want to say, maybe when I'm going to be 50, I'm going to, have this or have that, or become millionaire or become billionaire, or whatever challenge you want to put yourself, you could, or I want to have 5 kids, or I want to have 6 kids, or, whatever you want to do, you can do it, and I think it's fantastic that you could do whatever you want when you have a positive attitude,
Yeah, and I want to ask you a little bit about the positive attitude. Most of us, when we even have a cold or something more, we just want to draw attention to ourselves. We become weak. We want empathy, pity, and everything else. In your conversation, all through, you are full of positivity. Not a single ounce of wanting empathy or sympathy, anything. You are all, and not only are you positive, you're trying to give your positivity outside. So how can you go through days every day where you are working hard? I'm not going to use the word struggle, because you don't struggle, you work hard to do even simplest of things, and also making an impact in your business and beyond. How do you stay this positive, Orianne?
I think it's my belief. You know, I am a black belt third dan in mixed martial art.
Wow.
And you know, it gives you a very good mindset, you know, and my specialty is boxing. So I've been doing that for years and years and years. And you know, it's, you have a very different mindset when you do martial art, you know. It gives you lots of thinking, you are bright, you sing forward, you never look back, and you don't want sympathy, you don't want empathy, you don't want pity for anybody, you know. It's, no, you don't want that. You're not there for that. I mean, people who want pity and empathy, they never go anywhere in their life, you know. They're gonna stay at the same place. It's it's something, you know. I was remembering in my hardest moment in hospital, I was thinking to myself, I want to be able to play with my kids. You know, I was playing soccer with them. I want to be able to play soccer again with them. I want to be able to be the mother I used to be, you know, to be able to take care of them, to be able to love them, to surround them with love and affection, you know. I wanted to be there. And I had my kids in my mind, you know, I had them right there. And it's like I wanted to do everything in my possibility to make them happy. You know, that was my drive. I wanted to make them happy and to have their mom back, you know. I wanted that for them. And I think that when you say to yourself, I want to do that, I want to be able to be a good mom, I want to be able to be a mom that is there for your kids, the mom that is there to push your kid to do whatever dream they have in mind, you know. And so you transform yourself, you know, you transform yourself into a positive thinking, a positive attitude, and everything comes along. You know, when you think positively, everything comes along. You're happy, you make people happy, and you know, you have this gratitude that you're alive every day, and you have to thank God every day that you're alive, you know, to be able to wake up in the morning and to feel everything, you know, all your senses, all your every part of your body, everything, you know. And the most important is to be able to breathe, you know, to breathe and to feel yourself vibrating, you know. And this vibration, you want to share it with people, you want to share your positivity, you want to share your love, you want to love people, you want to share love, you know, you want to share affection, you want to share, you know, good thoughts and helping people. I mean, I've been helping children for 21 years with the Little Dream Foundation all around the world. You know, it's children that maybe without the help of the foundation, they would never had the chance to succeed. But because of us, you know, we change life. And this is important. It's not only to help, but it's to change life, you know, to give to someone all the tools to be able to become professional and to be able to live from their passion. And this is so important to share. And I see so many of the little dreamers, you know, realizing their dream, you know, could be like becoming the #1 tennis player or the world champion of karate, the Formula One driver, anything. You know, all these kids have a gift. They are very talented, but they don't know how to succeed. So if you just take them under your wing and show them, you know, what they could be doing and what is right to do and what is wrong to do, and how, you know, they could, by hard working, and I say that, you know, it's hard working, you could achieve whatever you want.
Brilliant. I love the concept of share love, share positivity, because I really think that is such a positive message. So I want to now go a little bit about a passion area in your work, OC jewelry. You know, in the world of classy, elegant jewelry, how did you create this very ownable, unique niche in jewelry? Like, what inspired you to create this niche, and why jewelry?
Well, so when I was young, I had a dream. I wanted to become a fashion designer. I wanted to become like a Giorgio Armani or Versace or whatever, you know, or Dolce Gabbana. You know, I was inspired by all this fashion world. But in my country, back in Switzerland, I didn't have the possibility to do this kind of study. So, and my father and my grandfather were very sick from cancer, so I was not able to travel abroad. I had to stay in Switzerland. So I totally changed my path, and I went into international management, and then I opened a PR and event agency for 10 years. And then when I was like 33, I thought to myself, I want to achieve my dream. I want to achieve my dream. I want to become, you know, a jewelry designer, because that's what I'm able to do. I'm able to sketch. I'm able to draw fantastic pieces. And it comes to me like an inspiration, you know. It's like when I wake up in the middle of the night, I always have on my side table a little book where I could sketch. You know, I have ideas, I want to sketch it, you know, and I design pieces of jewelry to make people look more beautiful, to enhance their beauty, you know. I design, when I look at someone, I want to make them look great. I want to give them, you know, a little touch to make them feel good and feel fantastic, look beautiful. That's what I want to do. I want to share this with people, you know, and that's why I have so many different collection of jewelry, because I'm thinking of all kind of people, all kind of personality, all kind of people, the way they are, you know, the way they want to be. Sometimes people are more simple, sometimes they're more elaborate, sometimes they want glamour, they want something that makes them look like a princess. And I have all that, and I created, you know, year after year, collection by collection, different pieces that will suit anybody. You know, you will find in my jewelry a piece that you will love. And at the beginning, when I started drawing, I had a website that was very interesting. It's like you were able to change. So you look at the model of my piece of jewelry, but you were able to change it to the gold you wanted. If you wanted the yellow gold, if you wanted white gold, if you wanted rose gold, black and gold, whatever, you could change it. And you could change the stone, you could change, you know, the setting, you could change everything. And at the end, you were creating your own piece based on my model. You were creating your own piece. So people were like so attached to it because they created their own piece and they wanted that piece with them, you know? So it was like a win-win situation for me, because I was creating a piece of jewelry and they took it to make it their own, you know, and they own it and they wanted it. So it was very interesting concept to do. And I worked for lots of different companies to create their jewelry. I did recently a nice collaboration with Romero Brito. He's a pop artist. He's known everywhere in the world. And one day he said to me, I want, to create my own jewelry based on my art. So I studied his art for a long time. And I went in Austria, in Swarovski factory, and I choose, each crystal, by hand, by pieces, and I put it together, and I redesigned his drawing, and I made it, very special. Like, for example, there is one piece that it could be a brooch, it could be a ring, it could be a pendant, and the wings flaps,
Wow.
So when you wear it, the wings flaps, and it's all in Swarovski crystal, and it's a very unique piece, that you have. And I remember when we launched the collection in New York, there was one woman, she said to me, oh, look, I'm wearing the earrings. I'm so happy. It's so colorful. It made me so happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, And I was looking at her and I said, you made my day, because this is exactly why I'm making jewelry, and why I'm designing what I'm designing is to make you feel the way you just feel right now,
Mhm.
And if you have this is an inspiration, I get inspired by everything, all my surrounding. If, for example, now I'm looking at you, something is going to come out, I'm going to think, oh, why don't I do that for Arjun, something different, it will make him feel so good, so it's inspiration. Creation is an inspiration, and I'm getting inspired all the time by a music, by a sound, by what I'm looking at, by the art of someone else. I get inspired all the time, and it's a great feelings. I always have like this kind of people that is like my mentor or my admiration to. I have this great admiration for Giorgio Armani, because I think that he is the one who created the pret-à-porter, that we have today. He was the one who created everything, and this person, there is Coco Chanel, which I think that she's a great example of coming from nothing. She was, in an orphelinat, and she created herself, and she created this empire, which is absolutely amazing when you think about it. I mean, at the time, she was, politically incorrect. That's what people used to say, because she was, with the other side of the politics, and she was always like in two world, I will say. And but she always get this inspiration, and she created from anything her world. And it's funny because I went to visit an apartment in Paris,
Mhm.
and I was sitting down in her living room, and I was looking around, and I see every creation that she has today in her apartment.
Mm.
You know, all the inspiration come from the decoration she had in her apartment. It's amazing, the Gabrielle, the bag, the perfume, the pret-a-porter, the haute couture, the jewelry that she designed comes from the inspiration she had in her apartment. It was amazing. And I was looking everywhere, and everywhere there was something like a lion, statue on the floor, which, created Le Lion perfume, and, all the collection with the lion in the jewelry too, in the pret-a-porter, in everything, and you had the constellation of stars right there in a panel, in an apartment, a separation panel. It was like all the stars and everything, like the constellation. And the Russian vibration that she had, for the Tsar and everything that came in the collection too. It's amazing. I was like, wow. I was just sitting down in this living room, and I was like, this is incredible, and you could see where her thought went, her thought process, and how she created this empire coming from this apartment. It was amazing.
Oh, so thanks for sharing that. And the thing that I really loved was your creation is an inspiration. That I love that. So Orianne, the little I got to know you, you're always pushing yourself. So you have accomplished such a lot. If you look at over the next 5-10 years or beyond, what is the next big thing that you are planning to accomplish?
Well, I want to give back, because I got this chance to be alive today and to be able to walk. So I want to help others that, in my situation, that didn't have the chance to have someone to help them. Because you have to know that in the first 3 months, you have no coverage from your insurance. So you're left alone with your bills, with your life and everything. And if you're the provider in a family, your world collapses. From one day to the other, you don't have the money to pay for your bills. You don't have the money to take care of your children. You don't have the money to take care of your wife. You don't have the money to take care of paying your phone bills, to put food on the table, So we're helping these people to cover their bills until the 3rd month where the insurance click in. And what is the most important, we give them the best medical advice and the best treatment possible for them to, to be able to walk again in these circumstances, because you could do a lot in the first months, because after these 3-4 months, it's too late. And I met a doctor in Germany that is doing like naturopathy and stuff like that. And he's the doctor for the national soccer team. And he did treatment on me. And he said to me, if you came at the beginning, you will walk straight away, And I was like, wow. And I didn't know him since maybe 5 years after my accident,
So let's finish with one last question, and that is a very personal question. Let's say tomorrow you walk into a coffee shop or a restaurant and you meet 2 other Oriannes. One is Orianne 16-year-old and Orianne 100 years old, and 3 of you have a blast. What would the conversation be like among 3 of you?
It's funny because someone else asked me this question the other day, and I was like, oh, what will I be when I was 16? What did I have in my mind? Well, when I was 16, I was a young girl who was doing her study, and I had to do my study faster in a way that my dad was sick and he has cancer. So I had to finish to be a provider in my family. I had to be able to help my brother, my mom, my grandmother. I was responsible for my grandfather. My grandfather said to me, "You have to take care of them," you know.
Mhm.
And even so, that my brother was my oldest brother, he gave that to me to take care of the family, you know. So I finished my study very early. Um, I was actually around 16. I was doing my commercial study, and I finished my commercial diploma when I was 16.
Hmm.
And I went to do my international management, and I finished when I was 19. I was very young, and then I got married very young too, because I met my husband when I was 21 years old.
Hmm.
And you know, we got married after 5 years. We got married together, and then we had two children together, Nicholas and Matthew. And you know, it's like this girl who has all these dreams in her head, and it was my moment to shine. You know, it was the time for me to create my world. And then I will say, if I was with this 100 years old person, I
Mhm.
will look back and say, what did you realize? What did you achieve during all these years that you've been on earth, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So I think it will be the creation of something and the achievement of something, you know? And that will be the discussion that we will have. You know, it's like, you had this dream. Did you realize your dream? Because I think the most important thing is, like, in life, you have to have a dream and you have to be able to realize it.
Mhm.
And like I said to you before in the conversation, when I was 33, I have this urge to create my dream, to achieve my dream, because I was doing stuff that I learned to do. I was a great manager. I was doing lots of different, you know, thing with companies. I was working in different way, and I didn't realize my dream, you know. And I was the wife of someone very famous, so I was in his shadow. I was, you know, behind him, helping him, supporting him. And like, you know, everybody say that behind a great man there's always a woman, and I was that woman for him, you know, all these years, 24 years with this same person. You know, I was behind him, helping him to achieve his dream. But then there was a moment that I thought to myself, I should not forget about me. I should realize my dream too, you know? And I think that is very important. And I, like I say to my children, you know, they they are very following their dream, you know, because each of them has a passion and each of them are following their dream. And it's amazing to see the realization, and to give the support to them to realize their dream is the most important things. Like, for example, Nicholas is a great drummer. He drums since he's 17 months.
Mhm.
All his life he's been drumming, 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 drumming. And one day when he was 15, his dad took him to be his drummer. And it was a very heavy weight on him. And I always say to him, now listen, you know, it's your father, that's one thing. But you have to realize that you're working for him. So you are in a working environment, and he's very strict, and you're gonna have maybe conflict. It's gonna be hard for you, but you know, you should always do your best and know what you're able to do, work hard, and you will succeed.
Mm.
And today, you know, he's on tour with Genesis, with his father. He's the most amazing drummer that is currently, you know, on earth. And Matthew, for example, is he wanted to become a soccer player since he's 3 years old. he moved to Germany in a place that he didn't know the language. There's a barrier of language, but he's learning every day the language, and he's training so hard, you know, to become the soccer player that he wants to be, you know. And it for me, you know, it's like to push my kids to realize their dream, you know. And I think it's so important. And the last one wants to become a pilot, you know. So he has his car, he's driving, he's, you know, he's learning, you know, and it's gonna take hours and hours of training until they realize their dream, you know. They have to work so hard at it. They have to be dedicated, they have to be passionate, but they have to work hard. And because of their name, is going to be harder for them, you know, to succeed. And this is where is my mission, is to help them, you know, is to push them to make sure that they follow their path, you know, to make sure that they're not going to fall down, to make sure that they're going to stay in the right way, you know, the right direction. And, you know, this is what I have to say, that this is my biggest achievement, is my children.
Love that, and totally agree. And I love the fact that you've helped each one of them find their own paths, but what you've instilled is the message of hard work, because without hard work, it's very tough to achieve.
Exactly.
So, Orianne, yeah, go ahead, please.
And, you know, it's funny because there was, you know, at the beginning when we created the foundation 20 years ago, 21 years ago, it was the same time that the TV reality existed, you know, like a year after. And they were doing, you know, like Star Academy or, you know, American Got Talent, you know, The Voice, all this kind of thing appears, you know. And all these people think that because they have a great voice, they're going to become the next Madonna or the next, you know, Phil Collins or whatever, you know. But it's not happening like that. You know, TV reality makes it look so easy to become, you know, a fantastic singer. It's not the truth. The truth is hard work. Only because you are a hardworking person in whatever you're going to choose in your life, it's only by hard working that you're going to succeed. It's not by, you know, sitting down and thinking, I'm the one, you know, I'm the next one. No, it doesn't work like that. It's, you know, hours and hours of training, of learning. You know, they always say that, you know, to be able to manage and to be on top of something, you know, to be able to driven it, you have to pass over 10,000 hours at it. And when you pass 10,000 hours at it, then you achieve, you know, the first step. And then you have to continue to push forward, push forward, push forward. And it's a day-to-day thing that you can't just sit down on your flowers and achievement. You have to continue, because life is like that. You know, it gives you challenges every day. But if you want to become really the greatest, it's by hard working.
Love that. Orianne, I thank you for taking time to share. Is there any final message that you have for the listeners? Is there a question you have for me, or anything before we wrap this incredibly fascinating conversation?
I think that, you know, it's like in each people you have something to gain from. You know, like from you, I know that you have so much to share with me, so much to experiences that you have in PR, you know, in all these fields that you can help me, because, you know, you're professional, you know your way at it, you know how to do it, and you master it. And this is something that I want you to share with me, is your experience, your thoughts, your what can I do better, in my world? Because I need your vision, and you have to surround yourself with professionals that have something to bring you. I know what I'm doing. I'm a jewelry designer. This is what I do. I'm a manager. This is what I do. But I'm not a specialist in PR. You are. And your vision could complement my world,
I love that. And to me, that is the respect when you get from a leader like you, that inspires each one of us. When I've talked similarly to super leaders, they very clearly share that in each functional area, I find people who are much better than me. And my job is to make them all see the bigger vision, so that way they can channelize their skills and energy into that.
Exactly.
And, the three things that I see is required to make anything successful, you live them at the highest level. So number one, I look at in any vision is see beyond. See beyond is what others do not see. When you were in the hospital, 99.9% other people would have been happy with the doctor's vision of walking. You saw beyond, of putting 2 flags, irrespective of weather, on top of the mountain. The second is make ideas bigger. Many a time we just achieve success and we stop. What I see in you is you are building both these foundations, you're reaching out, and I just do not know what you cannot do, Orianne. And that's the part where doing that with a free mind, challenging yourself, where a part of your body is lagging behind a little bit, you're saying, come on, buddy, we just go together, and making ideas bigger. And the third part I always see is once the first two happens, whether it is your Never Give Up Foundation or anything else, or the jewelry, it is experienced by wow, one person at a time. Never Give Up Foundation, even though it is a foundation, there are individuals who come in and individual lives change, and that makes Never Give Up Foundation powerful. The same thing on the jewelry business. If I talk to 99 other jewelry business founders, all of them would most probably say about making more money, making fame, everything. You flip the business. You talked about that one person, you want to make that person feel amazing. And the reason you're working is when that person comes to you and says, Orianne, look at this. Because of you, I feel good. You feel goosebumps, that wow, one more. And that's the part where Orianne is like, I'm very fortunate for you to share your story. But what has inspired me today even more is many a time we talk about our story with a lot of ego and everything. You share your story to make the rest of us feel better. Orianne, it's truly an honor. And to me, this was not an honor. It was like a gift from you to me to share all these details. And I'll cherish this forever. This would be an incredible listening to everyone. And thank you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart, Orianne.
Thank you, Arjun. It's a pleasure for me.
You've been listening to Secrets to Win Big with Arjun Sen, founder and CEO of Zen Mango, top brand growth driver, and a former Fortune 500 executive who has been called one of the most marketing intelligent minds in the business. To learn more, visit www.zenmango.com. Share this podcast with your friends and subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts.